What is going on, Bold Nation, and welcome to another Destiny 2 video. And boy, am I excited to bring you guys some weapon reviews. Guys, I know I haven't been doing a lot of weapon reviews, but here we are. This is going to be the start of a massive amount of reviews for gear and weapons. So we're going to be talking about the Dead Orbit. As you guys know, Dead Orbit won the faction rally this week. And if you were part of the Dead Orbit, if you were part of the Alliance, you were able to pick up the Scout Rifle for 1,000 Glimmer. If you weren't, you were able to spend 50,000 Glimmer. Now, I know a couple of you guys still haven't spent the 50,000 Glimmer because you're undecided if you should pick up the weapon or not. Or some of you guys just maybe, I just want to try out the weapon. But I'm here to tell you guys if the weapon is good or if the weapon isn't good at all. So let's go ahead and dive into this review. But before we dive in, I do want to take this time to give a big, massive thank you to everybody who has been able to support me via Patreon. You guys are extremely amazing. If you guys would like to join the Patreon army, make sure you guys click the link down below and lock yourself some amazing benefits. So without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about this review about the Dead Orbit Scout Rifle. Now let's take a closer look at the Hunted Earth Scout Rifle from Dead Orbit. Now it reads the following: those we've lost still linger in every place we look. Earth is no place for the living. Now, aesthetically, this weapon looks amazing. I like the way it looks. I like the way, it looks in the sense of it has that old feel to it. It doesn't have that modern feel, but it does look like an old scout rifle, kind of like 1940s, 1950s type of scout rifle. But we'll make this weapon stand out of all the other ones is the perks. And let's take a look at these perks and see if this weapon is worthy of you wielding it or not. So we have high impact frame, slow firing, and high damage. This weapon is more accurate when stationary and aiming down sight. So you're going to be more accurate. Now it has IS-5 circle and it has the Model 6 loop, which we'll take a look a little bit further in the video. Then we have the tactical mag, and then we have the high caliber rounds, which I personally prefer high caliber rounds if you're going to be running this weapon. And we have field prep, increased ammo reserve, faster reload when crouched. We're actually going to take a closer look at that as well. Now, every time I do weapon reviews, I always compare the weapon to one of the top tier weapons that is currently in the game. This is a base point just because, you want to know if the weapon is good enough to actually replace the weapon you're using, or even, it's viable for a second option if you're getting tired of shooting the same gun. So the weapon we're going to be pairing it up to is the Nameless Midnight, which I consider to be one of the best scout rifles currently in the game. And let's go ahead and pair this real quick and see what the differences are on each individual weapon. So right off the bat, you guys are going to see one big thing that the Hunted Earth has an advantage over the Nameless Midnight, and that is the impact. As you guys see, we have a little bit more of impact, and the range, we actually have a good exponential amount of range. That's like about 20 to 15% maximum range that we have as compared to the Nameless Midnight. So you're going to be able to be hitting people with a harder punch, and you're going to be able to fire this weapon at a longer distance. Now the stability, that is where we have a little bit of a downset, where we have the stability drops a lot, handling drops a lot, and the reload speed also drops that a lot. But remember, we do have the perk that when you're kneeling down, you're able to reload a lot faster. We also get the rounds per minute. As you guys see, of course, it's going to be shooting a little bit slower, and it has less magazine size compared to the Nameless Midnight, which has 16, and the magazine size of the Hunted Earth has 12. But let's go take this in the field and check out how it performs. Alright, here we are ready to test the weapon. So let's take a quick look before we go and shoot stuff at the scope so you guys can get an idea if there's a difference of the scope. So this is the standard scope. As you guys see right here, we're aiming at this portion right here. You guys can see it is just a simple red dot and a nice circular scope. Like I said, it has a very old feel to it, which I like. And then we have the Model 6 loop. Now remember, if you equip this one, the Model 6, you'll increase handling, but you'll lose range. And then with the IS-5 circle, you actually have range. And you have more handling, but you lose range. So just keep that in mind. And there you guys have it. This is more of a tactical one, as you see right here. Me personally, I personally prefer the one that gives you, that little bit. Even if you lose range, I prefer this one, which is the IS-5 circle. But you can go with either one. That one, it doesn't really matter. I mean, handling is only when you're going to be getting shot at. But I like the way this one looks. But if you want a little bit more range, you guys are more than happy to go ahead with the Model 6. Alright guys, now we're going to be testing the actual reload speed. So here we go. I'll shoot that bullet. We're going to reload right off the bat. That's a regular reload. Now if we have the option where you notice where the weapon is at, when it says that when you're crouched, it's going to increase your faster reload when you're crouched. So we're going to see that right now in action. I'm going to shoot one bullet and then I'm going to see, as you guys see right there, the reload is actually a lot more faster when you're crouched. I'm going to put these side by side so you guys can get an idea the big difference when it. Now the question you might be asking is, Laser, is this weapon worth me picking up? And the answer I have for you guys is this: if you guys pledge to Dead Orbit, 1,000 Glimmer ain't really much to spend. Go ahead and pick up the weapon. You never know if they change the meta and this actually might become viable. Now if you didn't pledge to Dead Orbit, I would probably use my Glimmer, my 50k Glimmer, instead of buying the weapon, buying some mods and maybe tinkering around with a couple of gear that I already have. I would skip the weapon in general. Overall, this weapon is not that bad, but it's not that great. If I had to give this a rating from 1 to 5, I would definitely put this at a 2 out of 5. But I do want to know from you guys, how many of you guys did pick up the weapon? If you did you like the weapon? And my question number 2, would you have preferred that another weapon would have been available instead of the Dead Orbit one? Would you prefer the Future Wilco one or the New Monarchy one? Please let me know in the comment section down below. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it informative. Now, if you did, please remember to help me out by liking the video and most importantly, sharing the video with your friends. If you want to stay up to date with all things gaming, make sure you hit that sub button. And if you want to get in touch with me and stay informed on the latest things that are happening in the channel, the best way is to hit me up on Twitter at GFLaserbolt. The link is down below, and also follow me on Twitch. If you would like to support the channel, you can always join the Laser Nation by supporting us via Patreon. Once again, the link is also down below. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys on the next video.